So it's funny, we were sort of briefing earlier, and you made a very interesting and salient but simplistic statement about, content and just distribution, kind of getting down to the brass tacks of taking a crack at helping marketers and brands just get video out there. It sounds so germane, but it's actually quite a Herculean task.
It is, and it's important. I mean, as Adam mentioned, you can spend a lot of money creating content. If nobody's watching, it doesn't matter. So distribution is critical to creating, I think, more premium supply in the market, right? We want to make sure that we have quality content on as many pages as possible on the web. We firmly believe that video should complement everybody's text and search experience across the web. Our brand for the video space is the AOL network, right? And our architecture around that brand is on every page, on every topic, and on every screen. And that's our mission, is to go and aggregate the best content that exists today that's either repurposed short-form programming from broadcasters or cable networks, or companies doing great things in the space creating original programming, which we also do as well. But key to that is actually distribution. And building scale, you need that distribution. So, at AOL, we have brand properties that people know. We own 40 properties, and we program those properties. But we also realize that at some point, you have to continue to grow the audience. And so we also distribute outside of those properties and have created a content network. And I think what's key to the network that we've created is it's all done through the same platform, same system, same player, where we control all the programming and hence control all the supply.
So a lot of, all the portals doubled down on premium video, right? Sure. 24 months ago, everybody's going big. We're still in a shortage of supply. And what's interesting is with changes at other places, some of the heartburn and friction that, YouTube is having right now, sort of the fact that they've invested $100 million and they still haven't figured it out. Now they're offering premium paid channels. It's very apparent that they're struggling, but you guys actually are a proof point. I mean, I don't know how much you can talk to the success, but having spoken to some of your peers behind closed doors, you guys are kicking ass and taking names.
Well, I think the growth that we've seen is because we didn't just place our entire bet on original programming, right? We placed that bet against aggregation plus original programming, right? Sort of the cherry and the sundae. And it's a quantity economy. The web is tremendously fragmented, as we know. There's trillions of pages. And you need to find a way to leverage that, and you have to do it with aggregation. I mean, that's what we believe in. So we work with over 1,000 content partners today, and in taking that content plus our own content, plus content we're co-creating with other companies, you then start to see significant viewership. And just in terms of scale, we're reaching 73 million unique viewers today on a monthly basis and delivering over 700 million streams a month, which if you purely look at content streams, that's second to Google. Of course, pales into comparison of 13 billion streams, but they're only monetizing 1 billion for obvious reasons, right? Brands want safe, good content that they can buy. And I think what we're getting to is the point where brands come to us and they know exactly what type of content their ad's going to run against, whether it's the aggregate channel of all of the professional providers of content we carry, or just the original content that they're going to buy from us.
So this is interesting because we sort of talk out of both sides of our mouth in video, right? So we talk about premium and the shortage of supply, and you just threw numbers that to me sound like tonnage and are remnant, sort of to me they feel looks like, walks like, must be sort of display-esque, right? So what are the motivations of an IO? I mean, is it tonnage? Are people still buying on reach when it comes to video? Is it really about audience buying? Like, truly, how and where are people spending their money with you guys?
Sure. So I'll just take a step back and just say, 24 months ago, AOL wasn't even in the game for video. They didn't have a scalable business until they actually made some investment in the space. And so we kind of play in all these buckets where we go and compete, and it may be a reach play. We do offer audience buying across this scale, and my opinion is if you're going to buy audience based on demographics and behaviors, really the content shouldn't matter. You should find them wherever they are. And then we get into very focused custom programs of which, working with brands, we've created a few significant franchises, one of which is going into its 7th season, which is with GMC, which is GMC Trade Secrets, which was taking a brand like GMC and crossing over a bunch of different lifestyle categories, and then also a savings experiment with Bank of America. So we're sort of seeing the gamut. We're starting to focus our conversations with our brands around buying in 3 ways, which is we have 14 channels of content. If you want to align with a specific category of content, buy the channel. If you want to buy around keywords or events or seasons, holiday is a great example. We can actually, with the over 500,000 assets that we have in our library, and since it's all controlled and we craft the metadata around that content, we can go and target just the word holiday and provide a good scalable buy for a Best Buy or a Walmart or a big box retailer during the holiday season. And then getting into sort of more native advertising or branded entertainment, providing the creative services to produce content with brands and integrate them into those stories.
Right, and that sort of that keyword metadata search value prop that is unique with AOL being able to deliver against video. A lot of that came from the HuffPo acquisition, right? So you're sort of applying what worked for them from a crowdsourced editorial platform, which they're now taking forward with HuffPo Live and their new products and everything.
Sure.
You're actually leveraging that across all of the offering that AOL has right now.
Between what we got out of the Huffington Post acquisition, as well as a core piece of technology that we developed, which very much acts as Google AdSense, except for content, right? And reading pages and distributing content based on, if it's a food provider, it's going to give food content. It's going to go deeper and say, this article's on how to bake a chicken. Here's a video from the Food Network on how to bake a chicken. Right. So yes, and then the next step with something like the Huffington Post is to take the social nature of what happens on that property and deliver that in a video program, which we've done. We launched Huffington Post Live in August of last year. And we're very proud of the product. Mashable actually chose Huffington Post Live as the most innovative media brand and property of 2012. It's a program that not only do we deliver the live portion, but we clip out 125 clips a day and then distribute those. And we program those against the sections of Huffington Post, as well as TechCrunch or Engadget or other properties that we have and distribute it. And collectively, we've delivered over 100 million streams against that content, both live and VOD or clip, since the launch of August. And on the live piece, we're seeing a little over 8 million unique viewers, so it's pretty significant.
And what are you running? Are you still 5 days a week, 12 hours a day?
Correct.
Or have you gone to 24/7 yet?
Not yet, but it's coming. And there's also conversations. We're seeing this again. We're all trying to blur the lines of television and digital, and now we're starting to see folks interested in taking programs like this to television. So there's a lot of activity around that product, and we're really doing a lot in general in the video space, but the core focus really is from a technology perspective, distribution, syndication, providing publishers with content they otherwise wouldn't have access to or don't have the funds to create, and extending viewership for brands that don't have a huge digital presence.
So let's go back to the GMC and Bank of America series and sort of case studies. Who created that content?
We did.
You did?
Yeah.
If you can say without throwing anybody in the bus, did you present those ideas and concepts to the marketers and the agencies? Or did the marketers and agencies come to you and say, we have an idea for some content, can you help us create it?
Ultimately, I think proactively we came with various ideas. I think the reality is you collaborate and net out on something that works for both the properties and the audience that we have, right? We don't want to program things that aren't going to work for our audience, and things that work for the brand and for the goals for their message throughout the year. So it really was a collaboration.
So I'm interested in the fact that, production, will that always be something that is adjunct or bundled with a media buy as the lead, or will that eventually be something that you see AOL doing, because you've also become storytellers, right? Given that you've doubled down and invested, you have the facilities that you will start to do as a sort of line of business and a P&L on its own.
Yeah, I think when we talk to our brand partners about their strategies in video, producing content for them is going to be part of that at all times.
Okay.
And whether that be content that is, utility content for the consumer directly from the brand, and providing that service for them and doing it at a more efficient price, given the fact that we own 2 studios, or it's integrating them into our stories and content that we want to distribute. So
awesome.